What's the one thing we're not talking about that we really should be?
Oh, dude, I remember one time I saw these massive birds, right? They call them in your country.
They call them
Massive
birds.
Beautiful, strong. I went to this place called Newcastle. Have you heard of this?
Yes, we've heard of Newcastle.
And this taxi drops me off. It was a big room, like a big window, and they were in there naked. What do you call it? Tits?
Yes.
Tits. And they were beating each other with pillows in there, bro. And I sat out there and watched, smoked a cigarette out there.
And that's the one thing nobody's talking about.
Huh?
And that's the one thing nobody's talking about.
There was 7 of these women in there.
I can see why you brought it up. It's an
And it
important
was
point
fucking, it was serious, man. Oh.
What's the one thing we're not talking about that we really should be?
So, that's pretty funny. I'm just going to read off these natural laws. Hobbes has 24 natural laws. We have a right to self-defense. We have a right to a social contract between the government and the people in order to protect our freedoms. We have a right to fair and enforceable contracts. This all comes from nature. I mean, the state of nature is everybody against everybody. And of course, we have a right to self-defense, but we have a right to a social contract because man is also, in addition to being an animal, man is also rational. In fact, all we got is logic and reason. It's all we got. Who would throw out the only 2 things that we have, logic and reason? So we have a right. A man can give up a liberty by consent. A man has to give his oath of office or oath of going to tell the truth in his own religion against contumely, against pride, against arrogance, against incommodity, for equity, for all the commons being for all the people of lot, random drawing of lots of primogenitor, the first possessor, the firstborn, mediators, peacemakers, free passage. Peacemakers are given free passage, and both must agree to the judge. That's brilliant. I like that coming from Old English. How many times is there just some dispute between person A and person B, and then the system gets in between and then just mucks up the whole damn thing? You could have just probably found person C, the great mediator, the great arbitrator, and you could have resolved your differences through a third party better than the damn system could. We have a right to be sociable, a right to gratitude, to be gracious and to accept gratitude, fair and enforceable, a right to fair and enforceable contracts, the right to forgive and be forgiven, the felicity to pardon, the right to look to the future and revenges, to not be cruel. Don't be cruel, just, punish. I would say just be for not even revenge, but just justice. Not revenge, not cruelty, just justice. Against contumely, don't show contempt or hatred to others. Against pride, all men are created equal, at least in terms of civil liberties. Humble thyself. If you give yourself a freedom, then every other man out here gets that freedom too. Against arrogance. After you've humbled yourself, we all have the same political liberties. What is a right or freedom for you is a right and freedom for me, a right and freedom for all. Equity. Judges have to treat 2 people fairly. That's the 11th law of nature. Hobbes has this nice, perfect list of 19. And it's beautiful. It's wonderful. Basically, they're laws of nature. But he also says that since you got there by reason, they're not really carved in stone. He tried to carve them in stone as much as he could. Witnesses. On witnesses, if you have a dispute between person A and person B, then person C and person D and person E, F, G, H, I, all the other witnesses will help figure out the dispute between person A and person B. If it's not crystal clear, if there's a dispute in facts, if person A and person B, if they are disputing the facts, then witnesses, person C, D, E, F, G, will help to figure out the truth. It's like having another video camera. Eyewitness testimony is a form of evidence. Submission to arbitration. You got to get an arbitrator. No man is fit to be a judge in his own controversy. Judges can't be biased cheaters. They got to be even-handed. They got to be impartial. They got to be even-handed and fair and balanced. Judge the necessity of a mean and the greatness of a danger. Every man has a right to judge the necessity of the means and the greatness of the danger. We have a right to traffic and commerce. We have a right to be against incommodity, which is discomfort or inconvenience. Be ready to obey the laws, but we don't have to discomfort or inconvenience you while we do the process. When the hammer comes down, that might be inconvenient, but the process doesn't have to be the oath. The oath of truth must be given in a person's own religion. That only makes sense. If they're going to sit there and swear to the Christian God? Yeah, okay. I'll swear to the Christian God. Swearing to any God makes no sense. I would swear to, maybe the God of love or physics. The God of love or physics. The God of gravity. The God of reality. What's the sun god? That's the religion that I'm going to join. The sun god religion. And that's the 24 natural laws of Hobbes. 19 of them come from the Leviathan. 5 more, actually. One of them I didn't really like, but he did write it down in Human Nature. So he wrote 19 down in the Leviathan. So the first 19 are verbatim, just like Hobbes said in 1651. And then I found 5 more from his other book called Human Nature. So 24 Natural Rights by Hobbes. 24 Natural Rights. Hobbes said he was born in fear, i.e. the Spanish Armada, 1651 Leviathan. What's going on? What's the matter, you? Hobbes Leviathan. He has that great quote about the state of nature of everybody being against everybody. We're not going to have anything. No culture, no commerce, no sanity. It's going to be pandemonium. Psychosis. It's going to be just like the War of the Worlds all over again. Just like, you remember Orson Welles with that damn radio program, started a panic? The aliens have left. He made it seem like it was a news bulletin about aliens invading, and people actually believed it and got awarded a lot of awards for that little stunt. You think you're a pretty smart cookie, do you, Orson Welles? Rousseau says that man is good at the state of nature, but Hobbes said you're born in fear. You're born in fear in the state of nature. There is no government. You need a government to enforce your freedoms. Without a government, the state of nature, everybody has a right to everybody. It's just going to be a war against everybody. No culture, no commerce, no exchange of papers, no cash, no banks, no... That damn Theo Von, he called those guys out. You guys got that autism, don't you? And they cracked it, they cracked up. So good for Theo Von. He's, people are, what's that one Greek guy, that Greek comedian? People are feeling him too. And they asked him, what's the one thing that people aren't thinking about that they should think about? And he was just talking about women were pillow fighting naked. That's it. In Newcastle, he went to Britain, and there were some women that were pillow fighting, like 7 women, grown women pillow fighting in Newcastle. What's the one issue? What's the one cause you want more people to focus on, Theo Von? There's this moment that I had that was a really great moment in my life. What is the angle? I don't even understand, it's great that, he had that moment. It's, that's, seems like a fun scene, a fun little thing that Theo Von had experienced. But what's the point? Not the Enlightenment. No, not, don't be racist. That could be, something. Care about each other, right? What's that one motherfucking Australian? His thing was he wanted to get everybody calling each other cunts. He likes how in Britain, everybody calls each other cunts in Britain. So he kind of wanted to get that started in America. So that was his thing. What was that motherfucker's name? He used to have a show on Comedy Central. He had a gun control bit that went viral. Jeffries. Not Hakeem Jeffries, but maybe Jeff Jeffries. Not Jeff Jeffries, but maybe... What was that guy's name? That Aussie. Anyways. Theo Von, what the fuck, man? That's the best thing you could... How embarrassing. If you're from Louisiana, I'd be embarrassed. What's the one thing we need as a society, as a world to focus on? What can you use your celebrity? Motherfucking goes to Vietnam. She got shitted on for Jane Fonda. Well, I think we should stop killing innocent people. What did she say? Something real and legitimate? Theo Von, what do you think we should be thinking about? The Constitution and the Bill of Rights? Get the fuck out of here. Where's the real Theo Von? No, I want the real Theo Von. The one that don't care about nothing or nobody.